46, 46.
46, some adventurers wanted, yay! We are playing a D&D campaign over the 100 hours that we play at the Fringe. That's 4 hours a day. There are 2 more hours after this one if you want to continue with us today. That also means you're coming in halfway through the story. So I will try and explain what's happening in the best of detail possible, but if at any point during the show you are thinking, I don't know what's going on, I'm so lost, you are totally fair to shout out from the audience and say, what? Who? Why? That's totally fair. We are a relaxed performance. That means that we have a relaxed attitude to sound and movement in the audience like that. That's also for the benefit of people who can't be still and silent for an hour, because that is a very important thing to do up here at the Fringe. The lighting will stay exactly the same as this, and if you ever need to take a break for any reason, please head out through either of these 2 doors you came in. There are sweet staff out there wearing red or black t-shirts with the sweet logo across the front. Ask them for assistance, I'll happily help you. You will need one of them to get back into the room, as there is a key fob to get through these doors, but you are welcome to pop in and out if you need to. No problem at all. If, however, you are in the room and need assistance, our stage manager Nemo is at the back. They are right there for you if you need anything from them. Please give them a wave or catch their eye and they will happily assist you in any way that you need. So, what are we doing? We are playing Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, what does that mean? Thanks, man. For those of you who are uninitiated, it means that the 4 players to my left and right play shared characters in a shared universe. And I play the shared universe. So everything they encounter, everything they do, everything they must combat or deal with is me. But everything else, they will choose what they do based on the character sheets in front of them, which have various maths things on them that we won't go into in too much detail. The main thing you need to know, they will mostly be rolling 20-sided dice. One of these, which my fellow DM Leo tells me is an icosahedron. Yes. There we go, an icosahedron. That means it has 20 sides. The number 1 rolled on said dice is awful. The number 20 rolled on said dice is brilliant. So feel free to cheer or boo depending on how you feel about the player in question. So, with that in mind, let's dive into the story. What's happened so far? Well, the players to my left and right are members of a rebellion against a terrible cult. The cult, 5 years ago, with the help of an elder god that came through a tear in time and space, destroyed the countryside, and then the god disappeared, and the cult have been managing the area for 5 years. However, the rebellion has taken place. They've freed the capital city, Goldcrest, of their country, Deriland, and they've now heard disturbing rumours that the cult might be back. Yeah, they're good. Lovely. Yeah, please be as panto as you like. I like it. So, they have travelled to the west towards the town of Leiglen, and Leiglen was destroyed by a humongous explosion that claimed the lives of one of the rebels. I was about to say rebellees, that's not a word. Claimed the lives of one of the rebels because the town was mining a very dangerous ore that has explosive properties, but it also appears to be part of the magic that binds this universe together. So they're not sure about how to use it, if at all, yet. Anyway, they're halfway there. They were attacked by horrible insect things called Bayaki, which they fought off rather well. However, they have now fled to the west. Our characters are on horseback, making their way towards Leiglen. Some of them have decided to mysteriously ride away because they're not playing this hour, and some others have decided to join them because they decided to play this hour. So, starting on my right, can you please introduce yourself, what pronouns you use, your character, what pronouns they use, and tell me a bit about either what happened in the last hour if you were here, or what your character's been up to during this rebellion.
My name is Alex, and I'm he, him, and I am playing Deriland, who is also a he, him. He is an elf paladin of the moon goddess Serenin. He does not particularly like humans, or his god, but, you know, these things happen.
Splendid. Thank you very much.
My name is Doug. I'm playing Esteban Prothero Hardhammer, new owner of Esteban Prothero Hardbody Gym.
That was established as canon last episode, that is correct.
And also rather good, surprisingly good on horseback, and have been riding all day.
Thanks, Doug.
So yeah, that's it.
Nice. Dom.
Also he, him. Sorry.
He, him, thank you.
Hello, I'm Dominic Allen, and I'm playing Testus Windbotherer. a human sorcerer. We are both he/hims, and Testus is now getting fully to grips with his bowel-based wind magic.
I'm sorry, guys. This is established as canon.
This is what you swapped Rick Mail.
Yeah.
We swapped Rick Mail, genuinely a person playing someone who was called Rick and was definitely Rick Mail, for Testus Windbother. It's been a good morning. Thanks, guys.
A fart-based wizard.
Fart-based wizard.
Sorcerers, the magic chooses them, they don't choose them.
And it comes from within. We've established this.
You get a say in this.
James.
And I'm James, and I'm playing Gregor Bloodgrip, the dwarf barbarian. He's of late just been taking some time off to study Kess, the monk who roams around town just randomly punching things.
Played by me when I'm not DMing.
Because he wants to learn some of that way, and he's been spending a lot of time just keeping rage at bay, going to what was Jamie's character? Was it Barksby?
Yeah.
Barksby's herb garden and just sort of relaxing, and when he's not doing that, he's in Dottie's tavern.
Yeah.
Helping set up the postal service, as we've established.
All things that a barbarian would do.
He's not your typical barbarian.
Not your barbarian's barbarian. Good. Lovely. Let us continue. The two of you have been asked by Simon, the head of the town council, to join the allies who were riding to the west to try and discover what is going on. There was an elf scout that was rather worried about rolling flesh was the word he used. So rolling flesh.
Sure,
Rolling flesh. I'm sure it'll be fine. So you two have joined with the other two of our merry band and are now riding to the west towards Lee Glen. Is there anything you would like to discuss on the road? It is a relatively calm, pleasant day, but there are horrible purple lilac-tinged storm clouds ahead of you. Hint.
Did we establish what it was those leather bird things were flying around, or what they were carrying?
On the road, as you dealt with these bird things, they were flying around something they appear to feed on carrion. It was a dead cow. A dead cow.
Beef.
I think beef requires it to be cooked, but yeah.
Arguing semantics.
A nice bit of carpaccio.
Nice bit of carpaccio, that's what happened.
Can I, I'm probably not the best person to do this, but can I investigate the corpse of the cow and see if them eating from it has corrupted it in some way, or if it was corrupted before?
Absolutely, roll investigation check. Others may help. The barbarian roll an investigation check.
17.
17, never mind.
He's not your typical barbarian.
Well, Gregor, taking some hint from the calmer people in your life who have clearly been a point of inspiration for you, you have a look at this cow's body and discover that it is just a cow's body. It's just been torn to pieces, eaten. 6 of the 7 stomachs are gone.
The tasty parts.
The best bits.
Do I know anything about these purple clouds?
Roll an Arcana check.
That is 20.
20, non-natural, modified, lovely. They're clearly magical in nature because clouds aren't purple. They also appear to not be moving with wind or weather, so they appear to be just an overcast area ahead of you. And as you ride forward, you are now riding beneath the clouds, and the sky has turned dark, and the area around you has turned black. Can we see some of the whispering from the back, please? My goodness, I'm trying to set the scene.
I want to know what's so funny about this.
We have a Twitch comment, apparently it's very amusing. Go on, Twitch, this is for you.
The guy in the blue shirt is my new daddy.
I love the internet. Hey! Splendid. Anyway, as you ride forward, you note a couple of things. One, the ground around you appears to be pitted, almost like the rain itself has damaged it. Can we get some slightly more ominous music, please? That's absolutely fine.
Now we have to run.
The trees appear to be withering and dying, and it appears that you are in a permanently overcast state now, as the sky around you darkens and blackens, and the thick rolls of thunder and lightning crackle around you above. There are some houses that you go past, some farmhouses. They appear to have been ransacked. You are welcome to look inside, see what's going on. Or you could ride straight past them and not give a toss. That is your choice too.
I think it is worth a cursory examination of this to check that there is nothing hiding within. I do not think we will find anything of particular use, though.
Cursory.
Cursory.
There might be people alive in there. That
Yes.
help.
Well, yes.
Well, if it's cursory, you can roll your investigation check with disadvantage because you don't care.
I do.
13.
The houses appear to have been torn through. You do find some evidence of these horrific grue that you have seen are part of the cult's attack force, what look like deformed dogs. Lots of black bristly fur and far too many jaws and far too many teeth. But there are none in here. It has just been torn to shreds. There are no people. There is no blood.
This is outside the city that my other character leveled, right?
Yes, this is outside the city that your other character destroyed by setting off an ore explosion. 2,000 plus damage in one go.
She's asking there.
Yeah.
Can I look around for a trap door?
Absolutely. Make an investigation check.
That's much worse. 7.
I'm afraid there's no trapdoor in this house.
Weather wizard.
Wind botherer.
That's what I said. You know about weather.
Yes.
This cloud, would you say it is a storm front? Do you think it is bringing something behind it? Or do you think it is part of the problem?
I'm pretty sure it's part of the problem. It's not part of the weather, you see, is the problem. So I've got the sense, correct me if I'm wrong, that this has been lingering here for quite some time.
Would any of us have seen the maps that Roberta
Yes.
that showed the location of the temple?
Yes.
Was it to the west?
A long, long way, but yes.
Do those clouds look like...
These clouds appear to be directly overhead you.
Oh, they're overhead?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could continue forward if you so choose.
Well, if there's nothing around here, then we should go on. We might find the source of those insect things as well.
Oh, yes.
One of them flew away with a javelin inside it, which I'd quite like to get back, so...
Javelins are important.
They are.
True enough.
They are.
Do you ride further forward along this path?
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. You come to a small rise. As you ride above to the top of the rise, which is also the place the little people rode to look over Lee Glen the first time round, you get a very good view across the landscape of Lee Glen. At least, you would get a very good view of the landscape where Lee Glen was, but you can't see it. 3 large, black, rolling masses that look a little bit like someone left something in a microwave for too long are slowly inching their way across the landscape, and wherever they encounter everything, it seems to fizzle and get crushed underneath it. They are slowly slopping in and out of the mine crevices that were there as part of Lee Glen had a mine in the centre of it, a big pit, and all these cracks running off it that look a bit like a big octopus head. They are clearly writhing in and out of this space, and from a distance what looks like buzzing clouds of flies appear to be more of said creatures that you've encountered earlier, these flying, buzzing, insectoid byakie. They are all swarming Lee Glen. Can people roll a history check for me, please?
Is it to do with stone?
No.
That's a 12.
12? 14.
19.
19.
15.
15. You all remember that there were a tribe of orcs who said that this land belonged to them. You don't see them. They fought you off when you were here. They were rather mean. But you see no sign of them. All you see are these horrific creatures rolling around and these clouds above them. What would you like to do?
Go back to Goldcrest. And, actually, could I make some sort of? I've seen these before.
No. These creatures are all unknown to you. You can roll a nature check if you like.
Nat 20. You know nothing.
17. You don't know anything about these creatures, but they don't look very natural.
They do not look like something that we should try and tackle on our own.
No.
No, probably not.
Simon did say to come right back if we can't get anything.
Yes, he did say that. Sure.
Do you all turn and go?
Sorry, I don't know if I've understood. So there's how many? Just a load of these massive...
3 of them. There are 3 of them moving like bulldozers across the landscape and consuming and absorbing everything around them.
How big are they?
Size of a small house.
Okay.
And they're moving at the speed of a bulldozer.
Yeah, they're not quick.
Okay.
And roughly how many flying things? Vaguely. Oh god.
It's cocked. 730?
I'm already off.
Do you turn around?
Run like lion.
I'm asking if anyone turns around in particular.
If assuming we remember all of this, then we will have more information than the last guy.
As you turn to leave, behind you, standing there quietly, is an orc who none of you heard sneak up on you. She is crouched on the ground near you, looking over this whole thing. Some of you may remember her. Her name is Jezula. Correct me if I'm wrong. Jezulu. Sorry, thank you. Jezulu. She is crouched, watching this whole thing unfurl, and just spits on the ground and says, "They arrived 3 days ago. They've taken everything. Most of the tribe is dead."
You should come with us back to Goldcrest. If you've been observing them.
I know I want nothing of you people. You brought them here.
We didn't bring them.
It's all your war. We have no part of it, and now they have destroyed our land.
Did you see where they came from? Were you here when they arrived?
They were just here. One moment we were in the forests overseeing our lands, and then suddenly these horrible things approached. And as you look, one of them blinks. It's a good mile away, but suddenly a ridiculous number of eyes open in it, and it just blinks as it goes. They'd like to roll stealth checks.
I'm assuming we walked up this hill. We're not on horseback, stood atop this.
You have horses with you, but you're not standing on horseback overlooking the area. No, that'd be madness.
12.
12.
There's a smoke-shaped image of
19.
14.
14.
10.
10. You are all keeping yourselves relatively well hidden. Unfortunately, Esteban, you are a radiant dwarf barbarian, perfectly coiffed, and it is fair to say that light somewhat reflects off you. As you watch, some of the clouds of insects buzzing around start to form into a gigantic swarm that starts buzzing towards you overhead. What would you like to do? Run? You do have horses.
On the horse, run!
Can I pull the orc onto my horse and just, or if she'll allow?
Make an animal handling check. Your horse has to carry 2 people, and you're both heavy. 13. You manage to leap onto your horses and turn tail and flee. Can we have something a bit more chasey, please?
Is the orc coming with us?
The orc is now on Gregor's horse. But he only rolled a 13, so that horse is slower. As you ride.
Can I ask her where the remnants of her tribe are, and if we could hide in the forest?
Yes, you are now riding through a forest. They scattered. We managed to escape, some of us, but quite a few are dead. I do not know what has happened to them.
So you're not making base anyway?
No, we are just trying to flee at this point. I wanted to see what you were doing. I assume you are still part of this. As you go, riding fiercely to the east, trying to escape this moment, these insectoid creatures are faster than you. And overhead, through the trees, you can just about see there are these clouds of them flying over you, buzzing around, very clearly trying to keep track of you as you go. Can you all roll a perception check, please?
Is it windy by any chance?
Can be if you want it to be.
I got 16 for perception.
Yes.
And I also have storm guide.
You do have Storm Guide, that is correct.
If it's windy, I can direct the wind in a certain direction. If
Yes.
it's flying, presumably that will upset them. Or slow them down. Excellent.
All right, I'll allow.
So I'm blowing the wind that
Back.
way while we're going that way.
Okay.
So the wind is blowing. I expected nothing.
Are we going back
Quickly,
past the...
pull my finger.
Are we going back past the houses?
Yes, you are going back past the abandoned farmhouses. You saw that is correct.
Should we duck inside these houses?
You note above you that these insectoid creatures, while flying over you, are now battling strong winds to follow you. Very, very strong winds. Powerful, powerful winds.
We are so mature.
Who rolled above a 15?
What were we rolling?
Perception.
I rolled above 15.
Excellent. Yeah, of course. Yep.
I did not roll that.
The three of you, as you see this, notice that there are people riding these insectoid creatures. One stands out. She has a sort of skull-shaped helmet on and spikes on her armor. What would you like to do?
I've done everything.
Do you keep riding or do you stop in this farmhouse?
How does it?
I think we should stop.
Oh, it's 2 against 2.
I'm sensing there might be a story element here.
No, no. No, no.
No?
No.
No?
No. Or maybe.
If by everybody dies, you're saying story element, then yes.
Guys, it is entirely up to you how you die, but you're going to. So,
If we keep going, are we going to lead her directly to what we do? I mean, she knows what that is.
yeah, she knows where Goldcrest is, yeah. Do you continue or do you stop?
How disrupted are they by the wind? Does it look like we could outpace them?
It looks like you are now keeping even pace.
Even pace.
Even pace.
I'm happy with even pace.
You're happy with even pace. I'm not happy with even
There are no
pace.
roots in the sky.
There's wind.
And I'm trying to.
It's
So
true.
I'm gonna slow down there.
Maybe hiding would be better.
I'm gonna try and go. I'm gonna stop. Go
Cool.
to these houses.
As you roll past, as you roll past the farmhouse, trying desperately to consider your options, you, Esteban, turn and inside the farmhouse, you leap in through a window. Do you stop and do you leave the horse outside the front? What are you doing?
I'm actually, I'll leap in through the window.
Excellent.
Lean back out if I can reach. Smack the horse.
Can you roll
on
me
its
an
back.
athletics check, please?
Athletics 20? Not natural.
20 non-natural. As you leap off the horse, you very nimbly slap it on the ass as you go, and it starts riding off as you leap through the window. Can you roll me a d4?
3.
You take 3 points of damage as you smash through the window, but you are now inside this destroyed farmhouse and can easily roll a stealth check to hide. What are the three of you doing?
Can I just sort of tell the orc to jump out?
Mm-hmm. She also through the window?
Through the window or the open door?
There is an open door right next to the window, yeah, which you didn't check for.
We did leave the door open when we
Yeah, that's true.
investigated.
That was
I
established.
ran past it. I'm not the best at horse riding.
There we go. She leaps off and runs in through the door. What are you doing?
I leap off and I sort of slap the horse with like the back end, like the handle and whatnot. just so I have reach on it.
Roll me an athletics check, please.
But still 60.
16, you're fine. You leap off the horse, you manage to hit it with your with your hammer ably, not hitting it hard enough to hurt it, but enough to send it running. Also presumably allowing the insects to chase them. Very smart. Testus, what are you doing?
Also, I'll try and jump off my horse through the door.
Are you going to do it all in one fluid motion?
That's the plan.
Well, you do have an ability called Tempestuous Magic that would allow you to do this with absolute ease if you want to cast a first level spell.
if I cast any of these spells, a shield I can only use in defense.
Correct.
Thunderwave and Chromatic Orb, I mean, they're attack spells.
Correct.
I wouldn't give myself away.
You would.
So I'd rather just try and risk it. But is it if well, no, that'd be really dangerous to ask.
Athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
I'm actually a pretty good acrobat.
All that wind, you have to fly constantly. Good balance.
So rather than just jump off, I'm going to try and land on my hands, vault, do a couple of...
Do a barrel roll.
Yeah, and then land on my feet inside the farmhouse.
Okay.
That's a 17.
You do exactly that, nimbly leaping from your horse with a faint... You manage to leap off, roll, and you're inside.
Not applaud yet, there's still the heavily armoured paladin to come.
Heavily armoured paladin, what do you do?
Now basically Skittles, just standing in the farm.
Yeah, and all three of the horses you have now rolled out, and the insects appear to be running after them because there's no way you can tell from above a tree line what's actually on the back of a horse and what isn't. Arted.
Much better plan than one.
I will fall off my horse.
You take the decision to fall off your horse.
I assess the situation.
Okay.
I look at my armor and
Okay.
I think I could try and jump.
If you try and jump, you might not get hurt from the fall, otherwise you will get hurt from the fall. I'm allowing you the roll.
You're going off like a diver off the back of a ship.
Yeah.
Make an athletics roll anyway, because you might do so very well.
18.
Yeah. You roll off the side of your horse, combat rolling into the house as well, and you can easily kick the door shut as you roll into the building.
Yes.
Lovely. The four of you are inside the building, and the horses are now all riding off into the distance. Can you all roll a stealth check, please? Those of you wearing heavy armor with disadvantage.
I rolled a 2, that's a 4.
4 on stealth. Testus probably farts loudly.
Can I
Twisted my ankle.
can I use my elven ability Mask of the Wild to negate the
Yes.
disadvantage?
I will allow that.
12.
12.
I also rolled a 2, so I got a
3.
3.
Critical success. Gregor, learning from his monk friend, disappears. Everyone else either farts loudly, bangs into things, or surprisingly, the wood elf paladin manages to just sort of become one with the pots and pans. Just Mask of the not so wild. Love it. Very, very good. Mask of the kitchen. Brilliant. Keep it on your sheet. Write that one down. I'm going to keep that one. That's good. Yeah. Nemo, can you please change the music to something utterly horrific? Okay, tense. I want something fucking tense.
The orc do.
The orc is fine.
How big is this space that we have all chosen to pointlessly hide in?
20 foot by 20 foot squared.
Okay. Everyone stay near me. As close as possible.
As you all start to breathe more slowly and hide away yourselves inside this building, desperately trying to find somewhere to wait this out, you hear an ungodly, hideous moan as something is outside. Very.
With my... Does it sound bulldozer sized?
No, it does not sound bulldozer sized. The window has been smashed. You can look out if you'd like to with a perception check.
Can I keep my 20?
No.
No.
Make a perception check to poke out. You're already stealthed.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't choose it. It's not particularly stealth.
11.
I'm probably at the window. So, yeah, I'll definitely roll perception. That is
12. There is a hideous flap of leathery wings. And as you look up, a strange tubular creature appears to fill the sky. It's about 6 feet end to end and quite wide. It tapers at either end like a barrel, and at the top are hideous floating eyes staring in all directions. Large wings flap on its back, and 4 horrific legs flap underneath it. Don't know what this is, but it looks absolutely disgusting, terrifying, and like something from H.P. Lovecraft, because it is. No, it's called an elder thing. It flies over the farmhouse, its eyes searching. One eye beadily peers at the smashed window of the farmhouse and sees a dwarf staring back at it. It floats down and lands about 30 feet from the farmhouse and slowly steps forward. It's large steps because it has 4 feet in a sort of weird rolling step pattern as it moves towards the farmhouse. And as it does, all of you feel in your minds faint whispers rolling through it, strange, unknown things that you can't quite fathom or put your mind to, and you feel your mind being drawn out of your head. I need wisdom saving throws from everyone, please.
Anyone who is in 10 feet of me gets a +3.
You all get a +3. 21. 21. 11. 2. With a +3.
No, 5 with a +3, but my wisdom is 0. So.
Rolling
back door.
a D100. That's not too bad. Arted, you are now scared of the dark. The whispers in your head make you fear what you do not understand, and make you fear what you cannot see. For a paladin of the moon, you are suddenly scared of when the moon is gone and there is no light. And you are gripped by a fear that will never leave you. Ever. Wow. Except if someone rolls a greater restoration spell, you know. Rules. You all hear the whispers in your head, and the sky appears to darken even more as a shadow falls over this house. What would you like to do?
Is there any other way out where it is?
Well, there's a door, and there's a window right next to the door. One would therefore presume that there are other windows in this house, maybe to the other side of the house. But they are not shattered. There are other windows at the back of the house, as established. There is no back door. It is a very small house. It would not need a back door.
And these windows don't open, they require smashing.
You can try and open them.
I'll try and open a window.
Cool, roll a sleight of hand check.
Can I assist?
Of course, with advantage. With advantage, my friend. That's not that much better.
That's still a 13.
A 13. What I want you to envisage is you going, huh? Trying desperately to open this window. I'm afraid you need a higher roll than that to open the window. What are you two up to? Arted, I will allow you to have a certain amount of freaking out because you're now scared of the dark and there is a large shadow looming over this house, but it's up to you. I will not force it.
Is it dark in the house I am in?
It is darker than it was. You feel the panic rising in you.
I will channel divinity
Excellent.
and turn on death.
So sacred weapon.
Sacred weapon.
You channel divinity into your maul, and how does your channel divinity manifest itself?
It's sort of my skin goes kind of sparkly, and it
Very Steven Universe, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking more Twilight.
Okay, very
And
Twilight.
then
That's worse.
and then it sort of drains down through along into my hands and.
Your warhammer glows, a welcome beacon of light in this house that is slowly becoming more and more dark. Esteban.
I assume I heard the windows trying to be opened behind me.
Yes, you did.
I'm gonna run and try and recreate what just happened.
Try and jump out the window of the far side.
Out the window on the far side. Like, that's not working! And then just run.
Would you like to rage?
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. I think that's a pretty reasonable thought.
With a howl of rage and anger, you run and make an athletics check with advantage as you dive towards the window. With advantage, what did you roll?
With advantage, I got an athletics 12.
12. You run and leap and smash through the window on the far side. Your ally has leapt through the window and is on the far side of the building. As you land on the far side of the building, you turn and look up, and this creature is getting closer and closer to the farmhouse and is looming over it. It is barely big enough to be seen over the top of the farmhouse, but its horrible, fetid wings are spreading around and blocking out what little remains of the sun.
I'll call to those inside, come on, let's go!
I go.
Before you do, within the farmhouse, the three of you, 4 with the orc that are left. This whispering in your mind and this horrible, strange thoughts in your head. You look out and you see that the landscape around you, the bits of this house, what you can just make out in the dim glowing light from the warhammer. You have various bits of broken furniture. As you watch around you, it all appears to warp and shift slightly, like this creature's very presence on this plane of existence makes this plane of existence weak. I need you all to make Constitution saving throws.
Again, anyone near me?
+3. You don't need to. You're on the far side of the house. You got out.
And that's a 13 with a +3.
Mm-hmm.
22.
Mm-hmm.
23.
Mm-hmm.
Not high.
Casual whistling. Always a
Oh
bad
dear.
No, it's just him. It's Leo, it's fine.
The orc, Jazulu, who came with you, turns to you three, not sure what to do, and tries to speak, opens her mouth to talk, but nothing happens. And her tongue, seemingly with a life of its own, rears up, and it has eyes and a mouth and stares at all three of you. She grabs at her face as it tears itself, bleeding from her mouth, out of her mouth, and starts crawling across the floor towards the door.
Towards the door.
Towards the door. Testus, you rolled a 13.
Yeah.
I need you to roll a d20.
That's a 5.
Do I get an attack of opportunity on the eye tongue?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you an attack on the eye tongue. Why not?
Can I have it?
Yeah, sure.
Can I be raging?
It's a bonus action to rage, not attack of opportunity. You can rage next time.
17 to hit.
You absolutely smash out with your maul and hit the tongue, which has 1 hit point.
I do 14 points of damage to it.
The tongue is gone. Jazulu is on the ground. She would be screaming, but it appears she cannot speak. Testus, as you watch this happen, you feel very strange. You feel like there's a part of you that isn't right in your chest. You're not sure what it is, and you try and grab at your chest. But as you do, you're realizing that where you're grabbing in your chest, you're not just grabbing in, you're also grabbing out. And as you manage to interlock fingers, you pull a vestigial arm growing out of your chest, tearing out of your flesh. You take 4 points of damage as an arm, a tiny vestigial arm, tears itself out of the center of your chest and is now there. You now have advantage on sleight of hand checks, by the way. That's just
I'll go out and say, where were you 5 minutes ago? So I can control it?
Yes, it is your arm.
I'm thrilled.
What would the three of you like to do?
I'd like to rage, please.
You rage and scream, and what are you doing?
I run.
Jumping out the window, followed by Esteban.
Yes.
Go!
I dodge.
Athletics check with advantage.
That's good. That's a 25.
You leap out of that window. You don't take any damage or make any attacks this round, so you will lose your rage by the end of the next turn.
I'm punching myself.
Okay, you punch yourself in the head. I'll allow that. Take 1 point of damage. Testus, what would you like to do?
Yeah, out the window.
Cool. You're just going to climb out the window?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Do you want to leap through it elegantly, or do you want to climb out it athletically?
I'll put this vestigial arm to the test and see if I can sort of cartwheel.
Excellent. All right.
That's an 18.
It is much easier to do things with 3 arms, and you manage to climb your way out of the window with your third arm sort of coming out the middle. You've now got that forever. That is just there, part of you. Arted, you have smashed this worm tongue, and Jazulu is on the ground, clawing at her own throat and neck, trying to scream but making no sound. It appears this worm was also part of her vocal cords. What would you like to do?
I would like to... No, that's not gonna work.
The air is warping around you, and there are fetid whispers in your head.
I would like to leave this place of darkness through the still open door.
You go through the front door, where it is.
Oh, they've all left out of the back window.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. I will climb out of the back window.
Make an athletics check. You leave Jazulu there.
She hit us. Tried to save her.
You're right, you should always judge people by their actions.
I mean, I can hit her with a weapon, or I can leave her.
Could you not grapple her and bring her through? I don't think she'd resist.
Doesn't seem like a good idea.
What are you going to do, Arted? All glory is fleeting, as is time.
Oh, I've got an idea.
You have had your turn.
I know. I'm just thinking.
I will. I will. Okay, sure. I'll be a paladin. Fine.
This is what it says on your sheet?
I will grab her.
Yes.
I will cast Protection from Evil,
Excellent.
which may, if they are already charmed, frightened, or possessed, give them advantage on any other saving throws later. And I will attempt to elf handle them out of the window.
Orc handle them.
Well, I am an elf.
But she's an orc.
Okay.
Yeah,
I will attempt
that's what
to
that is.
creature handle them out of the window.
Fine. Make an athletics check.
18.
You grab Jazulu's body and very carefully pull her and lift her out through the window. However, that is all you can do on your turn, and you are still inside the farmhouse.
Yep.
The 3 of you, 4 with Jazulu outside, are now standing outside, seeing this creature lean in towards the farmhouse, and as it does, it brings down one of its gigantic tentacles that smashes into the roof of the farmhouse, utterly destroying it. What would the 3 of you like to do?
Are we continuing to run?
You running?
Can Zulu speak now? She's
She has no vocal cords and no tongue.
okay.
I'd like to tell her to run.
Excellent.
And then run.
Okay.
If I cast message,
Yes?
will she still be able to communicate with me?
You have to whisper to respond to message.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. It's
It's not like a mental whisper.
No, I'm afraid it isn't. No, that's sending.
Never mind then.
Run.
Off we go.
The 3 of you, 4 of you with Jazulu in tow, run. You do not have horses. It will take you a very long time to get back. It's going to be a rather torturous mission. However, Arted, the roof is being caved in by this creature you see in front of you. You can still run. It is not fast. Or you could face it down. It's your decision.
How dark is it around me? No.
This creature very much blots out the sun and is very overcast, but it is not. There is still some anemic rays of light. It is not
Plus
dark.
the
dark.
light
And the light of your hammer is also
My
giving you a
hammer.
lot of confidence. I love bad ideas. Hit me.
I will try. I will point the warhammer at it, and I will say, more, and I will say, Fiend of darkness, you have no place here. And I will cast Turn the Unholy.
Does your Turn the Unholy affect? What does it affect?
Fiend or undead.
There is a horrible rasping laugh in your head. You cannot No, I've lost it. You cannot push me back, Paladin. And that's where we're going to end this hour of Adventurers Wanted.
And I'm not playing the next hour, so I assume he survives.
That is canon. If you're not playing the next hour, you definitely survive, so we'll work that one out when we need to.
He runs and follows me, who also is not playing next hour.
I think I'll leave that for me to decide if that's all right with you. Splendid. Thank you ever so much, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this hour of Adventurers Wanted. If you enjoyed this hour of the show, please watch more hours of the show. You can watch the show in the room for $5. You can play at the table, as Doug and James have, for $5. Trust me, it's not normally this horrible. I lie, it is. Or you can buy more tickets at the Sweet Box Office to sit in the room and watch as the adventure unfolds. We're on Twitter at Adventurers250, where Nemo, our stage manager at the back, and Nay, over there, our other stage manager, will live tweeting the show, Nemo for the last hour, with the two of them together throughout the entire run. There are GIFs, there are memes, you can also catch up on the story. So that's nice. If you want to, you can also watch the show on Twitch, where there is a live streamed camera at our Twitch stream. That's at twitch.tv/AdventurersWanted2. So, if you're worried about playing at the table, or you're scared of what might happen, not like the game, like scared of like, oh god, D&D, dice, don't be. It is a very easy game to pick up. A big part of what we do is proving that this game is accessible, and we want to make this game more accessible, especially to groups that aren't normally seen playing Dungeons & Dragons games in formats like this. So we want to be as inclusive as possible and as introductory as possible. If you think that's important, like we do, we have a Patreon where you can sign up for as little as £1, and for that there are rewards for following us and taking part in what we do, and we do events in London, in Edinburgh and in Brighton, so feel free to join in there as much as you can and or like. There's also a donate button on the website. That could be a P, I don't mind, just any little helps. Oh dear, that's someone else's slogan. Right, apart from that, I have 4 players to my left and right who've been wonderful this hour and who are probably all doing something else exciting, either Fringe or in their home lives, and would probably like to share them with you. So starting on my far left, James. Pitch, plug.
Yes, I saw... I've seen a couple of very good shows this Fringe.
Pick one.
Well, this one obviously is fantastic. I mean,
Pick a different one.
But last night I saw Vivian's Music, 1969. At Sweet Grass Market, and it is about a young girl and her love of jazz music through the race riots in America, and it really was outstanding. It's one of the top 3 things I think I've seen at this Fringe, so go see that.
What time is it on?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock at Sweet Grass Market.
Yes.
There we go.
There we go.
You've already pitched your show, Don, but pitch something else.
Okay, well, a reminder that Providence Shadow of Lovecraft is at 5 p.m.
There we go.
At Assembly Rooms, and also I'm appearing in Russian Roulette at 8 p.m. Again, not tonight, but every other day of the Fringe, at Le Bel Angel, just the tonic, just off Cowgate. It is an sort of improvised comedy using Russian literature. It's
intrigued. I am
probably one of the most stupidest hours I've spent in the theatre.
Really? There are some stupid shows up here. Are you sure?
Alex even guest rouletted for us a couple of nights ago.
Excellent.
Very good.
Alex, what would you like to pitch?
I would like to pitch 2 shows back to back. One that starts in about half an hour at Pleasance Courtyard, and the one shortly afterwards also at Pleasance Courtyard. If you are interested in work that has either an LGBT or an access theme, and I hope, having come to this, that you like access, we have Polaris by Holly and Ted at 12:55, and shortly afterwards Sirens by Zuko. 3 sirens from ancient literature wash up on the shore of modern day Hastings and fight the patriarchy.
I've seen Polaris, it was very enjoyable. Very good.
I saw Sirens, and it was very enjoyable. Highly recommend it.
The double
Doug.
double insurance.
Talk about your shoes, man.
Yeah, in my real life, I sell shoes on the internet. So if you have feet and and
Like walking.
Not always a given. Not a given.
yeah, if you have feet and some money and want to look after your feet, check us out at vivabarefoot.com. Yeah, we make shoes.
Splendid. There you go. They make shoes. Thank you ever so much for joining us, guys. If you'd like to refresh your ticket and watch the next hour, you won't find out what happens to Arted because he's not here. But we'll work that one out later. But let's see what happens with these horrible monsters heading to Goldcrest. If you fancy joining us for that, go buy a ticket and come and see the next hour. Otherwise, we will hopefully see you soon or follow us online. Thank you so much for your time.